To me, it's official. For those that don't know, Artur Beterbiev would have absolutely destroyed Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk.
Push the weight and now flex. Alive is one in the six. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Well, it's the day after. Dimitri Bivol just outclassed, outboxed, yes, outboxed Canelo Alvarez. Now, first and foremost, I owe Dimitri Bivol an apology, but I need the public to understand the reason why a lot of people did not pick Bivol to win this fight was not because he was an inferior fighter. It was because the politics of this sport and how things go, it clouds our judgment. And a lot of times it prohibits us to making a proper call of fight. We've seen fighters saying, okay, we've seen two fighters lock it up and say, okay, on paper, this guy or this woman is supposed to beat this guy or this woman. And then it gets to the 12th round, and then what happens? As a matter of fact, 115, 113 is too close. I scored 9 rounds for Bivol, 3 rounds of Canelo. You know what that means? 115, 113. If Bivol don't win one of those rounds, 12th round in particular, it's a draw. And then here we go again. So we almost had a bad one last night again. A draw would have been a robbery. Canelo's talking about rematch, but if we had a draw, Canelo wouldn't run that back. He'd run back down to 168 and do something else. Because he would have escaped that by the skin of his teeth. So we almost had a bad one last night if y'all wasn't paying attention. So I apologize to Bivol. I didn't watch too many interviews. I was not stoked about this fight. I didn't really care. But I'm a boxing supporter. I didn't pay for it, I'll tell you that. But I watched it, I'll say that. Didn't pay for it. And by the 3rd round, I'm like, whoa. Whoa, what's happening? By round 5, I'm like, yo, Canelo mouth open. He's tired again. He's tired again. Well, let's see what happens. Well, they got the winner right, but that score was too close for my liking. But whatever. Bivol outboxed Canelo. You know, the guy that you say is pound for pound best in the world. The guy that we've seen lose before. The guy that we know what styles give him trouble, which we saw, hey, from a non-black fighter. Footwork gave Canelo trouble last night. Surprise, not me. A jab stuck in his chest. Canelo leaning on the ropes with the head movement. Listen, man, we know it's next to impossible to hit him. Canelo has some of the best head movement we've ever seen. But Bivol wasn't settling. And when Canelo gave it back, Bivol gave it back. And I heard his corner, 30 seconds, let's go. And he got busy. As soon as his back touched the rope and Canelo tried to tee off on him, he circled out, kept it in the fight in the center of the ring. That was ring generalship, ladies and gentlemen. I was impressed. Canelo leaning on the ropes, trying to bait him. No. He wasn't trying to bait. Well, he was, but he was tired, man. Canelo was throwing bombs from round 1, and I'm like, yo, he's really trying to make a statement and get Bivol out of there. Didn't work. Size does matter. They make weight divisions for a reason. I thought that Bivol was really going to get clipped. Some people thought he was going to take a dive. Look, this is all because we don't trust the politics of the sport. But what happened last night was reality. There was no foul play. Anytime I see Mora in that ring, I get nervous because I don't like him. He's a corrupt referee. He didn't even look happy last night. And those 3 judges, y'all already know. Check my timeline. Y'all already know. Check those judges, check Mora in the ring, and look at their body of work. That's why I thought there was a fix in. But I guess with the spotlight shining on multiple levels of corruption in the business of boxing, they had to have a seat. So what happened last night was organic, outside of that score being a little too close. So now, about last night, that was Bivol outboxing Canelo Alvarez. This man right here, Artur Beterbiev, I text John Scully during the fight. Well, at the end, during the fight. And I said, John, I hope the world is seeing why Canelo Alvarez didn't go up in weight to 175 to fight this man, Artur Beterbiev, who John Scully trains. And he texts me back, absolutely. If Beterbiev fought Canelo, if Bivol outboxed Canelo, Beterbiev would have had a different fight against Canelo. Canelo would have been in trouble. This man stops Canelo in like 6 rounds. He knocks Canelo out. He wouldn't want to lay on the ropes against this man. Blocking those punches would hurt him. This man is different. Now, Bivol is waiting for a winner between Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith. And salute to Joe Smith. He's a fellow New Yorker. I don't know how he's going to approach this fight, but it's boxing. And again, I like Joe Smith. This is going to be a tough fight for Joe Smith. But Beterbiev is different. Did y'all know Canelo could have went up to 175 and fight him for that belt he's holding right there in his hand right there? Look at that. What does that say? WBC. But he went up to 175 and did what? For Kovalev. Gave him a $12 million payday. A wounded animal who had a hard fight against Anthony Yard prior to that. And Canelo's on record saying, after I saw Andre Ward beat him, I knew I could beat him. Cherry pick. And it went right because he stopped Kovalev. But this man was sitting there with that same belt the whole time. So what are we talking about here, really? When he went up there, we said, yo, man, Beterbiev, Bivol, what are you doing with Kovalev? Canelo man fans said, what? Oh, you're just hating. Okay. No, we're asking a question. The same question we asked when we just found out earlier this week. Wait a minute. There was a $100 million offer for Errol Spence, Jamal Charlo, and David Benavidez, and you make the same money fighting Dimitri Bivol? Really? And who else? A third fight with Gennady Golovkin that you said was out your system? And then a fighter of your choice. Your man fans going to celebrate that? Cool. Well, look what happened last night. Ladies and gentlemen, time reveals all truth. And the universe seems to be correcting itself. Things that you think is over, and I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying. Situations in boxing that you think is over, it's not. It's not. The powers that be had no power last night. Y'all need to connect these dots. There's something else going on, y'all. But I know. There I go just talking again. There I go with the conspiracy again. Y'all paying attention. Y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. I picked Canelo to beat Bivol due to corruption. And, stylistically, I said, okay, whatever. He might juice up and they ain't gonna say anything, whatever. But what happened last night was just let the cards fall where they fall. And they fell. And Bivol won. He didn't impose his will by using size, but size played a factor because he wasn't affected by Canelo. Canelo was throwing bombs. And it didn't hurt him. Canelo's head was all lumped up. It was crazy. And Bivol outboxed the boxer. But this man right here, Artur Beterbiev, he wouldn't sit around there and talk. He wouldn't sit around there and try and outbox that guy. He picked his shots, cut that ring off, and this man right here is strong. I promise you, Canelo would have gotten hit by this guy, and he would have never been hit like that ever in his life. The first clean punch this man would land, he'd be like, oh my God, I shouldn't even be here. What am I doing? It's too much. Canelo, you was better off running up to Bridgerweight and fighting that fat Korean dude that has that Bridgerweight champion. He has that Bridgerweight title that Mauricio Suleiman congratulated him on. He was better off doing that. You beat that guy. We know now you can't beat Bivol. And this guy, Artur Beterbiev, would have destroyed you. The jig is up. Take your behind down to 168 and do the right thing. Fight people that you're supposed to fight. So salute to Joe Smith and salute to this man, Artur Beterbiev. But here's what I know. Unless I'm proven wrong, Canelo ain't fighting this guy. Bivol outboxed Canelo. Beterbiev would have slept him 6 rounds, tops. Bronx on deck.
Move!